This week's episode is brought to you by Tabletop Backer Party on Facebook, which is the largest board game crowdfunding group on this side of the internet. Hello, fellow gamers. I'm Gloryhoundd, and this is
DrGloryhogg.
And this is I'd Back That Kickstarter catless, so then there's not going to be any issues with the stream.
I don't want to get too technical, but basically we had to employ the turn it off, turn it on again method in order to fix it. I'm sure there was more to it than that.
Why do you gotta tell on me like that?
Listen, it happens. That's the downside of a live show. But the positive is, if I make a mistake, you guys all get to see it live.
Well, that's nice. Oh, look at it. I'm chatting in screen while not using my fingers. That's excellent.
Oh, good. That means the kid is on there. All right. So, first off, want to say thank you for everybody who came back.
Absolutely.
We want to do a special thank you for our Patreons, because as you know, this is her full-time job now. Okay. And so, no, we really appreciate it. We're glad we're going to be back. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to cover In Too Deep, Cascadia, Monsters on Board, and then we're going to circle back around to Embarcadero, just in case, because we're going to end up deleting the other stream because it's all jacked up. And then at the very end, we are going to do like kind of a channel update on the different things we're doing, because as you know, we're like in a million different channels.
Absolutely. So we have updates as well and everything. So we appreciate all of you being here. And hello to Omar and Alan and Battlecry and Petter in chat. We also have Nathan.
Oh, so many people are back, which is great.
Like, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody coming back, okay? So let me actually get to the screen that I'm supposed to get to. Wait, it was your best work. What?
I was a little distracted by it. I get super distracted whenever there's tech problems because I can't do anything. I'm just like, I get super upset about it.
Hold on. What was that? How is it again?
Because I don't do the tech stuff, and I get really upset about it too. I am the person that, like, a long time ago, when I was in the Army and I was younger,
far, far away,
and probably a little bit angrier, I'm the person that was like, oh, you don't want to read my disc? Kick! And I would just kick my PlayStation 2 and then go buy a new one. Obviously, I have a kid now, so I don't have PlayStation 2 money just laying around.
Or PS5 money either, but Luke does.
We'll probably get one eventually, once I'm done with everything in PlayStation 4. I don't play enough video games. That's okay. All my money goes to Kickstarter.
But I do want to circle back to Embarcadero.
Yes, because it did not get a fair shake based off of everything getting chopped up and stuff.
Because there's some things that I want to mention about the campaign and everything and the gameplay that I didn't get a chance to mention. So we'll circle back to that at the end.
So let's start off in the deepest point possible.
In Too Deep. This is by Burnt Island Games. This is for 1 to 4 players. Should last about 90 minutes.
Sounds right.
There we go. And this is a pick up and deliver game where you are basically a detective and you're going into the minds of these criminals and you're trying to collect evidence on what's going on. You can also influence these criminals in the game, and overall, all the evidence that you collect, you're trying to do like a big bust at the end of this game and take down the syndicate. And we actually played this, what was it, last week, I think?
Yeah, it was last week.
We played this last week, and this is a really interesting game.
Like on Monday, I think.
I'm also so excited about the minis in this game. Like,
yeah, they've added some really cool stuff.
God.
Obviously, we had a prototype. I think the big thing about this is I didn't even really realize it was a pick up and deliver until you mentioned it. I guess I don't think about mechanics unless they're talked about before I play the game. But if I'm just playing the game, I didn't even think about it being a pick up and deliver.
So you're going through and you're like, yay, I'm a detective. I'm collecting evidence. And then at the end of the game...
not that at all.
You're like,
you're going through
I'm a hardened detective collecting evidence.
That's not even it. This is what you're doing. You're going through it like you're like a mind ninja, where you're just like, you're going through it as a detective that's like just jumping up into other people's minds and being like, do the crimes so I can collect evidence, and then I'm going to turn you all in at the end. It's dirty. You're a bad cop. A bad cop. I said it. You're being a bad cop. It's very much reminds me of...
Minority Report. Oh, no, wait.
Oh, no.
But that's another badish good cop story.
No, you're talking about Altered Carbon. The idea of, like, you get moving things. But I said, it's not even Altered Carbon. It's more like Quantum Leap, because you're jumping into somebody else's brain.
Which?
Or the Adjustment Bureau did it, too, where you jump inside of somebody else and you're controlling that person for X amount of time. So, yeah, you're putting your hooks into somebody. You're gaining grip over them. You're making them complete things. And you're doing this so that you're kind of, like, riding along and like nudging them towards criminal activities, which they would have done anyways, so that you could actually then collect evidence about the whole big overall syndicate. So it's like small evil for a big good, kind of.
I always wondered that as a kid with Quantum Leap. I was like, what happens after Like, he leaves the body. Like, do the people remember anything that happened? Or is it just, like, a blank spot in their mind forever now? Or, like...
I would be a jerk.
They're like, Joe, you were such a jerk the other day.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, my God, what happened?
I would, like, throw, like, I don't know, manure at the president or something like that. Like, back in 1964. I don't even know who was president. Just so, like, that person would have to explain for the rest of their life why they did that. Or I'd put out a big newspaper ad with their money saying that they're just a jerk. Something.
Oh, gosh.
I would be the worst. Do not let me inhabit your body.
So
I will not treat it nicely.
It says, wow, what a nice looking box, I say. I agree. The art in this is fantastic looking.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it. They die.
You think they just die afterwards?
What, Petter? Is that a thing?
No,
is that for real?
They don't die.
Do they immediately die after? And like that was like their final thing that they're trying to change?
That's what kind of happened like in Adjustment Bureau because it was all like a bomb thing was going to happen and everything.
Now I feel less good about that show.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So I think it's a very, very interesting concept, and there was enough going on. I didn't even think of it as a pick up and deliver game, and obviously all the finalized stuff is even cooler looking overall.
It is very cool looking. Like the cards that we got were actually a down tone or like almost muted, which were still like super vibrant cards and stuff comparatively to what I'm seeing on the campaign because they've really upped the art level in this.
Yeah.
And then the minis in this are so freaking amazing.
I won't call them like, oh, I'm going to take the yellow player because that's obviously the sprinter.
Look at this person.
And
I know,
the cool
right?
sprint shoes on that makes them do a little bouncy run.
Hello, Mepper. We had to yeet the cat out of here because
no.
because the cat was creating some lag. You know how cats are in the internet.
Using up all the bandwidth.
Okay.
All of it.
This sprinter is freaking so cool.
They got those cool shoes where they go pew 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 pew.
Which makes complete sense with that particular piece because you are like bouncing around the map and stuff with that one. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, they just leap from like
up to the minis
from
like
one city to the other.
Mwah, chef's kiss. Mwah, chef's kiss on those.
You can't chef kiss everything. Then it doesn't matter.
I can chef's kiss whatever I want.
You told me that if I chef kiss everything, it doesn't matter.
I also really like in this game how the storyline that you're going for. So you have like this first level storylines, and you kind of want to get a decent amount of those done because if you go to the second storyline portion of it,
yeah, the second quest objective,
you could basically like waste a turn trying to get a second storyline. But if the first storyline isn't out, you can't actually complete that storyline. So it does force you to kind of ramp up things in a very like natural way instead of just going, all right, I'm going to go straight to 3 and bam, I was super lucky and I took this out, you know, like it, so it ramps itself up in that.
Right, like mine was like a whole prison break thing. So first I had to get like the IDs to get in, and then I had to like set up the getaway car, and then I had to like mine the area so that whenever we were getting chased, like it was blowing up the pursuers and stuff. So there was like a whole like kind of thing behind it, which was cool. And you get to pick too. There's always like the high risk, high reward or not. There's different options every time you complete a quest.
So I really enjoyed that part as well. And the storylines definitely ramped up like crazy because in the beginning portion, you're like, okay, I'm basically like doing a little drop off, moving a little thing around. And then by the end of it, it's like, no, you have to be over here, and then you drop this off with this person, and then these barricades need to be over here, and this person needs to be over there, and you need to have these items over here. And I'm like, oh my God.
You have to be careful because Jay Peters misheard the word chef, so they heard Jeff's kiss.
Jeff's kiss. Mwah.
I'm assuming. I don't know what they heard. I literally love that our kid is on there as Gloryhoundd. I was like, this is detailed. Hashtag cat butt. Yeah, the cat does sneak up on her and just like whispers at her. But the cat doesn't do that to me. She doesn't get all up in my grill. She does like laying on my lap, but she does not get in like my ear hole area.
She tells me all the secrets, okay? All the good secrets, okay? Oh, the other really very cool portion of this is the scoring that I really liked because as you're going through, with each round, you're trying to put evidence out to get like golden cubes to kind of like get the scoring points at the end of the game. But you also want to put some items down in the bottom portion to kind of stack the bottom portion and how many points you're going to get per the end of the game. So you do have to make choices on where you're putting your evidence and with the good and the bad things that you want to do on the card.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Well, how well did it work out though?
I lost by like 15 points, but it still worked. It still worked. Yeah, no, there is an interesting push and pull and everything. I think the big thing is Are you going to like the theme? Do you like the pick up and deliver mechanics, and kind of go from there? I think that's the big thing. I think I don't know. I feel like every week I'm saying like I'm not a fan of a different mechanic. I feel like I'm not as much of a fan of pick up and deliver. There's only a few pick up and delivers that I really enjoy.
That is 100% true. You are not a huge fan of pick up and deliver
No,
games.
like Tricky Tide is fine because it's super light and it's fast, and I like Wasteland Express, but a lot of that's because of the theme.
But I can't think of any other pick up and deliver game you actually like, period.
I don't even typically play them very often.
Even so, between the two, you mostly just like Wasteland Express.
Oh yeah, by far.
But I think as far as pick up and deliver games go, this is like a more advanced version of that style of game.
It's sneaky. I didn't even realize it was a pick up and deliver until you told me about it afterwards. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's what it was. Because I was just thinking about more of the theme of it and everything. The theme is very, very interesting. You know, we always want to back all the games, but if I was sticking to my one game a week.
One game a week?
Yeah, this one is not my favorite game of the week because, you know.
Because you don't like pick up and deliver.
I think so, yeah. All your bandwidths belong to us.
Absolutely.
Hey, Holman, do you want some bandwidths?
Well, I enjoyed this game more than a regular style pick up and deliver because there was more stuff going on. It was more complex.
It had like some kind of engine building in to it a little bit.
You had more stacking of where you were going to try to get your points from and stuff, and they weren't coming from just that pick up and delivery portion of it. And you could choose to go heavy in where maybe you're not putting as much evidence down, then you're also getting other rewards and can do other things, and making those choices in the game made things really, really interesting. And so I would be interested to see how this played out with more players, because we only have both of us that are playing.
Usually, yeah.
And then two, just in more plays, because we played it a couple of times and I enjoyed it. It's just that, like, again, I don't know if I would play a bunch of pick up and delivers. It's my favorite pick up and deliver, probably, though.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay, you know what?
Top three.
It's my top. Definitely in my top three. I would probably play this over Tricky Tides. I definitely like Wasteland Express, just because I think maybe the theme, but this one had so much more going on in it. Like you said, it didn't feel 100% like a pick up and deliver, which was really interesting. And it was very, very thematic. Look, I'm going to have like a cattail mustache here.
I'm using a little pickaxe from Embarcadero to give the cat
I don't know
pets.
if you all realize that Glory Bear is actually a superior gamer in all gaming aspects. So I just wanted to let everybody know about that. I'm intrigued. The testimonials seem really positive.
Yeah.
I think if you like pick up and delivers, it's going to be a really fun game for you, because it is going to have a lot of really interesting aspects going on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is all cat hair that I just glue onto my face.
I also really, really like Wasteland Express, except Wasteland Express is heavier.
It's a 2-hour game.
Yeah, it's like a heavier pick up and delivery than this one is. I think this one is like
goals that once you complete all 3, it's a race. It's over.
Yeah, that one's more like a race. This one is definitely a slower burn as you're going into it, because
I agree.
You really have to think about that end aspect, and if you're trying to get like the evidence where you want it to go. And then sometimes if you get too much corruption, like you're trying to make it so that other people don't foil the plot, so then you don't have any points taken away from you. Like there's a lot of end game stuff going on that you're just like playing the game, and then all of a sudden you get to the end of the game, you're like, well crap, did I make the right choices to make the end of this game come along in the right way? But I would back this with the minis. I'd back this with the minis. Okay. If you're going to do it, back it with the minis, everyone, because these minis are amazing.
I'm going to give you guys a little spoiler. I'm pretty sure she wants to back all of these this week.
It's a $10 difference.
This is definitely her week. This is definitely her week. As far as styles of games go, I'm pretty sure some people could probably guess my pick of the week based off what we're going to be going over.
So Luke says, I like the look of this one, but I'm not really interested in the minis, so I'll probably wait for retail. I do think Burnt Island Games did a great job with In the Hall of the Mountain King. Yes.
Is there ever too much corruption?
In the Hall of the Mountain King is a much heavier game, though, compared to this one. Like, In the Hall of the Mountain King was, like, very, very thinky. This one here, you could very easily go through and not have to have a bunch of AP and stuff. Like, you still should really probably think out and plan out your turns, but it's not needed for you to enjoy the game, where I think In the Hall of the Mountain King, you really have to think about every single thing that you're doing. Otherwise, you're just going to lag far, far behind.
Oh, don't say lag. Gosh, you want it to happen? Don't mention it. Like, now I'm nervous. So I have to play Outer Rim. I haven't played that one yet, Omar.
Oh,
I've heard
I
it
want
recommended
to.
a bunch.
I want to so bad.
But you know, basically, when you are doing this type of work, if you don't get it within the first month of being put out, it basically doesn't exist. Outer Rim? I don't got time to go back to that. That happened like what, 6, 7 months ago? Too late. It's already gone. That's old news. I got to move on to the next game.
All right, Chad, I'm interested.
I literally have 15 prototypes sitting around. So.
I'm interested to know if all of you are backing these games. I want to know because the minis in this really sold me, and the art and everything. Like it looked, put a really fantastic looking Ameritrash spin on this pickup and delivery game. I really liked it.
I will not turn in my geek card. I like Star Trek. Don't at me. I don't want to hear it.
Pastor Me says Petter. Totally understandable.
You're not a big mini person? Well, of course, Alan. That would be like being a jumbo shrimp. Don't be ridiculous.
I also really like the fact that they have timed reveals on this.
And they're like weekly. They're not like a time reveal every single day.
I really want to see more companies do this. Honestly, I'd prefer the timed reveals rather than the stretch goals.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because I want to know I'm getting like the full game in its entirety and what was planned for it. But I still want it to be exciting and to build like hype as you're going. So what?
Glory Bear, you need to cut it out. It is not like exploding kittens.
It is not like exploding kittens.
Not at all like exploding kittens.
No, it is not at all.
Don't listen to the Gloryhound in the chat.
Wow, the Gloryhound in the chat is not doing well.
It's not. I would not compare the two. But what other games we have to talk about? What's next?
All right, so next up, we have Cascadia. This is by Flatout Games. This is for 1 to 4 players. It should last about 30 to 60 minutes. This is really interesting because you're like building your little park as you go along here. And you're like populating it with like little animals and stuff. And then if you populate the right portion of it with the right animals, then you can get like little foresty tokens that allow you to like manipulate more stuff in the game as you go along. This game actually reminds me of like another type of game. I think that was it. I think it was Mondo.
But Mondo has that real-time element where you're trying to like frantically put stuff down and match up sides and everything. Yeah, I thought of Mondo too originally just because it is, you know, you've got terrain types, animal types, and you're kind of stacking them up. So it did remind me of that also. But this is a puzzle game. It's more of an abstract puzzle game, which is 100% up your alley. That's your type of game.
Yes.
And we have Calico. We just got in Calico like this week, I think on Tuesday or something.
Which Calico is a very thinky game as well.
Calico is the other one that Flatout Games has done most recently. So I wish, you know, I would like to play Calico so I have an idea of how this one plays. But that being said, I don't think I've ever bought a game like this, personally. Like, I've never gone out of my way to buy a game that's like tile laying and like
the other one
trying to figure out a puzzle. I just have never done that personally.
The other one I can think of is that, what is it? Blue-orange game where...
You're talking about Planet?
Yes.
The one with the magnetic sides?
Yeah, that's the only other one that I could think of. Except this is like
a toy aspect, but it was pretty...
a one-plane sort of aspect.
But Planet was kind of light.
Yeah, it was. It was really light. There's more going on in this because you're having to really manipulate what sort of animals you're putting down on what sort of tiles, because at the end of the game, you're going to score based off of like area control and set collection and stuff like that in the end of this game.
So Mepper's saying that Cascadia is their choice of the week, that they didn't get Calico, so they don't have to worry about things being too similar.
Okay.
I think that's fair. I don't know if they're actually that similar. I just don't have experience with Calico yet, but I do have it, and we should be playing it soon.
Pausing this stream so we can go down and take a look.
Lost tokens under the picnic table. That is everyone's fear.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Okay, everybody has to be quiet. The cat is now officially sleeping.
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh
my goodness.
I gave her one tiny anchor.
This video is so unrealistic. No wind blowing everything off the table.
That's true. They did need more of that. I really wish there would have been a random bear attack too, just because I like bear attacks.
Just a random bear attack, or the bear comes down to sit down and play the game with them.
No, like a raccoon comes down and like picks up one of the tokens and then runs off.
What?
Because the raccoons, they like to take things, right? They'd be like, and then run off.
Why would they take the pieces, though?
I think this one could be interesting, but once again, if you're going to be asking me if this is my pick of the week, it's not.
This one has a price of $29, though.
I like that. I do like that.
You do like that. It's a $29 game. So, no annoying random flying bugs? Bigfoot was in the background, says Battle Cry. Everyone was moving so slow in this video. It's probably just the angle they were shooting from, Petter. I'm sure that was it. It was the time transfer angle. It's like slightly like this.
That's
Okay?
what it was. That's what it was. Your cat does that. She grabs a piece and then runs off with it. That's fair.
Oh my gosh, that would be horrible. Like, do you have to chase the cat down whenever they do that? That would be
Here's the really
terrible.
ridiculous thing is that this cat is not allowed to be up on this table. But I guess during the show, it is allowed. I don't know why, but... So she's just really happy to be laying on top of a box of game pieces. So
with all the pieces, yeah.
Those
That's cat dream.
Embarcadero pieces we had are definitely now just being laid on.
The cat's dream right there, okay? Just to be able to be in the center of attention as
What are your overall thoughts on this one? Because this seems like a game...
I like it. I think it's $29.
Okay.
It's a puzzly game. It's right up my alley on those sort of... Oh, I'm freaked out by myself chatting in chat. Keep on getting freaked out. I was like, wait, what? How does that apply?
So Aqualin is another abstracted game, I agree, and your mom likes it more than I do because it's abstract. I just don't like abstract games as much. I guess I'm just 100%.
So are you saying you're not
Ameritrasher.
liking this game?
No, I think it's probably be fine. I'm just not excited by it.
Because it's just tiling and tiling and area control.
Yeah.
Is that why we haven't played that bee game? What is it? The birds... Or the bee something.
We played it like 2 or 3 times.
I really like it.
I don't think
but it's just like an abstract tiling area control game.
I don't think it looks super exciting on camera because you're just like, I'm going to play this tile. And then someone's like, oh yeah, I'm going to play this tile. And I'm like, ooh, fancy.
Jay Peter says Skull Hollow is good. And that's 100% true. And they're coming out with an expansion for it.
I would play Skull Hollow again, for
sure.
sure.
So excited about the expansion for it, everyone. I cannot wait for that. For real.
I don't know. I guess everyone has their own style of games. But for me, I really... like a bunch of theme and stuff. And this is cool, and the art's really good. It's still Beth Sobel, who's done a bunch of really good art.
Oh, absolutely. Mepper says, did you hear the publisher say good things come in threes when asked if there would be another? Ooh, that was a good catch. That's a good catch. My goodness. Standalone expansion for Skull Hollow. Absolutely.
That'd be cool.
So, yeah, I'd back this game. I think it's $29.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would back all the games on this list, so... Not a big shocker, but I am reserving my one pick for my one pick. I'm a harder sell this week.
You're just becoming a curmudgeon of
no,
games.
That's not true.
That's what it is.
Here's the difference. Like, we just got in a bunch of games, and I'm like, oh, cool. And you're, like, still trying to get other games from other people, and I'm like, we just got in a bunch of games we
have
need
to play. All the games. All the games.
Yeah,
we need all the games, all the pieces. We play all the things.
You need to learn the rules then.
The burrito is on the reserve, says Petter. Well, we'll pick a final at the end of the show on if we had to pick one, because we are still, like, limited in our funds. But if we had to pick one, which one would we pick out of all of them? Because overall, out of all of the games, like, these are great games, but there still can be only one.
That's fair. That's fair. And that is a good point. Cascadia is very affordable.
Absolutely. So this is Monsters on Board. This is by Final Frontier Games. It's for 1 to 4 players and should last about 30 to 60 minutes on this. This has an incredibly cute little theme. You are basically monsters and you're trying to run around, scare people. And you can get spook juice and... like, they all advance across this little board. You can get, like, special little abilities and stuff to scare people. It is... the adorableness factor on this game is off the charts.
When you talk about this game, all I hear is...
you get to run around and scare people, and you get your little spooky juice.
When you talk about this game, all I hear is blah, blah, blah. I don't say blah, blah, blah. This is Hotel Transylvania. This is what this is.
Hotel Transylvania, the game.
This reminds me so much like the way the art is kind of done and kind of the funniness of the different characters. This reminds me of Hotel Transylvania, the movie. And I'm super excited about it. Like, I'm dumb excited about it. So it's a theme I like. You've got cool little cards to go around.
Look at those tiny little cards.
You're drafting dice. You've got special hidden objectives on how you want to place your dice.
That's how you draft them.
Every dice.
Car. Vroom, 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 vroom.
Thank you for that. I already said that.
Vroom, 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 vroom. Just like that. And then you're like, boop, and you draft a little die.
Blah. That's all I remember. Blah, blah, blah. This game, I think, since it looks cute, I think people are going to underestimate it. I think it's thinkier than a lot of the other games we talked about.
This game has a lot of stuff going on, okay?
I would
You have,
say it's probably thinkier than all of them, except maybe Embarcadero might be thinkier, but I'm not sure. I think this might be the thinkiest game of the week.
You have 3 or 4 boards that you're going in between to try to get different things from.
Spook juice, you're trying to get like advisor cards, you're trying to complete your own
there's
card
a
to
lot
summon.
of stuff.
You get to summon Spider Jack if you play your cards right, which is like a whole bunch of bonus points. Stuff.
Yeah.
It's Spider Jack. It's the Pumpkin King. I love the minis in this. I am 100% in on this one.
I'm sorry, what?
This is it. This is the burrito. Right
That
now.
was it? That was supposed to be an end reveal and you just threw it out there? You can't just say that.
I just threw it out there. I don't care. I don't follow your rules.
Oh my gosh. Also, as a note, everyone, so there are 2 different versions of this. There's the
standy version.
Yes. And then the deluxe version, which has all the miniatures that you saw in the video in this.
It's like $15 more though for the miniatures.
Right. I'm just letting people know not to get confused because as you're scrolling down the campaign, it's like a very small area that says the difference between the 2, and they kind of like run into each other a little bit. So you could be scrolling down and thinking, oh, I'm getting all this stuff, and then back to one campaign portion of it and then not the right one that you want. You know, don't look directly into the burrito, says Battle Cry. So this game is one where you can get people to play a heavier game due to its look. Absolutely.
I think this is by far the thinkiest game out of all of them. The most hobby gamer-ish game because there is so many different competing objectives. Plus you get to see which dice are coming your way. Like if you're further on in the list, so like I know what dice she picks, so I know what dice are coming my way, and I can kind of plan out which dice are going to be coming by after that, which dice are going to be coming after that. You got different objectives you're trying to complete. You're using all the different symbols on the dice, so you're not just like, oh, I need a 1. You're like, oh, I need a yellow 1, or I might need these symbols to do something. And they trigger things, so there's like some engine building in there, some dice drafting, all kinds of different things you can do with it.
See, right here, basically, as you're scrolling along, you're like, oh, I get all this stuff for the game, and then when you get here, this one little portion right here is the only thing that signifies the difference between the 2 boxes here. So make sure you get the deluxe box to get all these rewards right here that we're going to go
all
through.
Those little guys too, which I didn't even realize those are goblins, like with the spook juice like on their back, like they're carrying it like like on a tray, like on their head, where they're like, yes.
Well, yeah, because you gotta scare them, and then they drop the spook juice, right?
No, you're scaring the humans. Those are goblins that are bringing the spook juice to the different guests.
Oh.
Because you're scaring all the different humans that have like a town nearby, but there just happens to be like this big resort where everybody, a hotel if you will, where everybody gets to hang out and they have this big huge party during the Spiderwick festival. I'm 100% in on this.
The dice car is amazing.
Look at that. They unlocked this like awesome first player marker where they're all crammed in this little tiny car together and stuff.
No, he has little tentacles in the back there. Well, now I want this one, says Alan. Why must I have spent all my money on furniture? Alan, you should have known better. You should have known better, Alan, okay? That's why you avoid our show until you have the fun. It's okay.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool if the cars ended up being minis too, but man, that would be probably much more expensive. I'm just glad they're not just a card or something that you're dragging around, or you're not just moving the dice around in like a little cup or something. Just even have that little bit of a wood car or cardboard car that you move around is still really, really cool.
No, I'm excited about this one. As I was going through all of the games, there were so many that I was like, this was actually at the bottom of my list to begin with, because I was like, oh, this is going to be very like it's playing up to the theme. Like it's not going to be as in-depth and exciting as the theme was, you know? I thought this was going to be all theme in this game. But after I actually sat down and started looking at all the mechanics and everything that was going on in this game,
you realized how wrong you were.
I realized how wrong I was, okay?
You were extremely wrong, and I think you owe the game an apology.
And Jay Peter said, I just got my 3D printer, and maybe I'll make my own. And you know what? If you could, share those with the community. That would be amazing. And then other people could print them out. That would be fantastic, right?
So Pepper says his girlfriend is not into the theme, so that would be useless for them to back it. That stinks. We're super into Halloween here in this household.
Yeah.
That's like one of our favorite holidays.
Absolutely.
So we are down with these little monsters running around trying to scare the humans.
Already started putting stuff out in the house for Halloween. So there are skulls and pumpkins and all sorts of stuff. So
yeah, I wish money did grow on Trees Games of Fire. I would have a couple of those trees. but
Battle
they
Cry
would
says
wither
cinder
and die.
blocks and wooden planks for furniture. That's what we're gonna end up having to do from all these Kickstarters for real, Battle Cry.
That's why I'm sticking to one. And for this one too, there's a third pledge level too that offers an expansion, which you didn't even talk about the expansion. Did you look at the expansion at all?
Oh, I didn't even go down to it yet. Yeah.
So the expansion is very interesting. The expansion gives you like 3 different kind of mini games that you can play too. She's gonna scroll down
the
to
monster mixer.
it. Yeah, so
Here you
there's
go.
like the dinner. So put your hosting skills to the test as you manage a wait staff and cater to the demands of monstrous picky eaters. So that's kind of like a chai, or any of the games where you're making like drinks, like a brew game where you're making drinks and then like delivering them to patrons. And then you've got like the game, which is you're hosting a graveyard bash at the dinner party and you're ready to entertain your guests with a little friendly game. Collect patterns and matching body parts to build a Frank in this side-splitting bodybuilding competition. I don't, what is that, cooties that you're playing? Are you playing cooties where you roll the die and you put the little parts on the bugs? And then you have the murder, which is forget the party. You've received the word Spider-Jack is planning to permanently eliminate one of your guests and you can't afford a replacement. Use the process of elimination to uncover their moves. Like there's like 3 little mini games in that too.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
So Jay Peter says, what is it? The problem with Kickstarter is that you back so many and then you forget about them. Yeah, I have to end up going back on my list, making sure what I've gotten, what I haven't, and like double check on stuff because that happens. Okay.
There was one that I thought we had backed that we didn't back, but luckily I was able to get us a copy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a retail copy, but it is a copy.
Let's see here. Tree removal. Oh no, Alan, that's terrible.
Just leave the trees where they are, man.
There's another comment I was gonna comment on, but it already went. Burrito. Oh, chat Gloryhound says they're spending their burrito on this one.
Ooh, this is a lot. Because they bring in so much money to the household, they should definitely have a very.
They should have a say in what.
2.5 share say of what games are purchased, so they can override us. Definitely, I think that's the way to go.
Yes, I'm excited about Cinder. That was such a cute game to play, Alan.
Yeah, sometimes with Kickstarters, the games go by so fast. Yeah, you do forget about them. Sometimes we'll see a game out in retail, and I'm like, did we talk about that game? It looks familiar.
This game looks amazing. They did such a good job with it.
So, pledge-wise, I want to go in for the deluxe. I don't know if I'm going to do the expansion, because I'm just trying to save a little bit of money, but I think I definitely want to do the deluxe and get the minis, because for $15 to go from standees to those minis, which actually look really, really good, I think that's like a no-brainer for me.
All right. So, chat, will you be backing this game?
Yeah.
Ryan says, burrito, burrito, burrito. $89 ain't
good.
that
Ryan's
bad,
buying
though.
3 copies, and we're fine. Does that mean I'm going to be getting a copy
So,
for
like,
Christmas, Ryan?
how many burritos would this game cost? Let's see here. So, we got, this is 54 to 69. So, if you take, like, the $70, that's what, 2, 4...
Oh, a lot of people are doing this
about 3 times that we can't eat Chipotle.
Fatal Paper Cut's a liar. Because Fatal Paper Cut says, nah, not backing any of myself. But I know for a fact Fatal Paper Cut will probably end up backing one of these later.
Like later, yeah. When Fatal Paper Cut thinks about it for a while, and then like right before it ends, Fatal Paper Cut has everything on the 24-hour reminder.
Because what did Fatal Paper Cut just buy? Was it Reichbusters? I think it was. And so did Petter.
Yeah.
So pretty soon we'll have Reichbusters to play with everybody.
Didn't some people do Windward, I think, too, after seeing the playthrough on that one, too? Yeah? I think so.
I think so.
I think so.
So, yeah, you're being called out, Fatal. You're being called out.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so look at it this way. Less Chipotle, the less you have to exercise. Oh, Jay Peters, thank you. That's such a great idea. I didn't even think about that.
There's actually a local political person in Arizona that suggested that their followers should skip a meal and then donate that money to their campaign. So, yeah, we could just skip a meal and then buy this game instead. That sounds way better.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just all in on this one. That's why I said I bet you guys can all decide which one I'm all in on, like way ahead of time, because this is the only one that's super, super thematic.
DrGloryhogg turned to me and he's like, "Can you guess which one that I want to back?" And I called it right away. I was like, "Boom! Monsters on board."
But she still hasn't told me which one. Maybe? No, I said maybe. I don't know. I tried to play it off all slick, like maybe. I don't know.
You tried to play it off slick like you were a robot or something. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I barely looked at the campaign. I don't even know.
Let's see here.
No, Dinosaur World, Seventh Citadel,
Cohen.
Monsters on Board. There's so much stuff coming out. But
why do you have to mention all that? We gotta take that 1 week at a time, okay?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, for real, because...
I was going to look down. I don't have 7th Citadel on me right now, but I will.
In a few days, we're going to be getting 7th Citadel, so we're going to be playing that one as well. In Dinosaur World, I cannot wait to see...
That one should be good.
I keep on getting press releases for that one, and I'm like, oh, I just want to see more. I just want to see more.
Yeah, we did get in a decent amount of games that we need to have everybody decide what we should play next.
Oh, absolutely.
So you can always go onto the Patreon.
Yeah, we're
going
to put that up on Patreon. And we also have a couple of Kickstarter previews that we're going to end up doing that are going to go up on Patreon first. So all of you get to see it before anybody else does. You guys get to see it whenever I send it out to the companies and stuff.
Sample day at Costco. Pay for your membership and you get to eat for free.
You just get to go around and eat everything.
You just got to bring a hoodie so that way they don't know that you've already been by before. Maybe like a little mask.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have... Embarcadero. Embarcadero. From Renegade Games. This is for 1 to 5 players. It should last about 60 to 90 minutes. Basically, you are managing a wharf waterfront and some ships and everything, and you're trying to build all these buildings on the wharf, and you can extend your wharf, and this is actually area control. You're actually putting actual buildings there on the little like wharf spaces and everything, and it is so freaking adorable. So freaking adorable. On the previous Kickstarter show thing that totally got messed up, they're not going to be able to see that because that does not autofocus. I don't know what you're doing. They're not going to be able to see that. We went ahead and pulled these out of the boxes.
They're like the size of like a little bit bigger than a sugar cube.
Right. We have the box right here in front of us, and the amazing detail on these minis, which we're actually going to be playing this game as well. So that's a whole nother thing we're going to do next week. But the amazing detail that they put into this game and the minis and everything, and it being an area control game. And also, you know, you're having to supply yourself with the certain resources in order to build these buildings. Like, this is a win for me because
it's very tight, too. You only get so many turns. It's a set number of rounds and a set amount of actions you can do in each round.
Absolutely.
So you really have to pick, like, do I want to sink this and get some of the bonuses off the card or the standard bonuses? Or do I want to, like, try to build? I mean, you only can do, you've got to really think through your actions.
Well, and I was surprised because before I was like, oh my gosh, how is this like the lowest funded game ever? Because, or not ever, but the lowest funded game out of all the ones that we were looking at this week. Because Renegade Games is a fantastic company. They make fantastic games. This seemed like it was a knock out of the park win because you have like this Euro sort of style theme with all these amazing like little tactile things that you can build up and like stuff happening in the game, you know, and seeing your little ships go across the water and stuff.
That tactile part will be really important, I think.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like a knock out of the park win for me. Everyone. Okay, so if I was going to spend my burrito, I'd probably spend it on Embarcadero. Embarcadero. Even though I can't pronounce the name like ever.
Oh, I thought we were going to wait till the end of the show for that.
Well, you already made your reveal. Burrito slap.
Oh, see the abuse I take? See the abuse I take here?
You know what?
This makes sense. I was not 100% sure which way you would go this week because the 3 other games seemed 100% up your alley, but I was really hoping that the spookiness of Monster on Board would sell you. Doesn't mean we might not still back it, but I was really hoping that was the one that would sell you.
I really like Monsters on Board. I think it's going to be a
amazing game. Filled with whimsy.
It's going to be very cute. There's a lot going on in it, and I don't know if it's going to be something that's always going to come out all the time because of that. I feel like this one would almost be easier to play because...
She says that she talks about a 90-minute Euro game. She says that she's like, let's get 7 Citadel. I mean...
I like all 3 of these games. I need a job, says Games of Fire. I totally feel you, okay? So
you can say she's Embarcadero on board.
And we have, Alan says, I think Renegade is a solid company, but it's a known factor that will eventually, their stuff is pretty reliable to find in retail. Okay, that makes sense.
True.
That makes sense.
I think there's definitely the idea that if you support people on Kickstarter, it makes them more adventurous, and sometimes you just get a better quality game overall.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's see here. Why are all the buildings in the water? They're not in the water. They're on the water. It's like prime wharf real estate stuff, okay?
Yeah, Yeah, battle cry.
I like our hashtag burrito slap.
Yeah. And we're teaching the kid good things. Good things.
Good things.
For
all
future
good
relationships.
Things. All good things.
When in
for
doubt,
everything.
throw a burrito.
Just throw a burrito right at them.
When in doubt. So this is definitely, okay, so this is the one that you're the most excited about this week. That's fair.
I am.
I kind of thought it would be, and I know you really spearheaded getting this game so that we could actually play the prototype for everybody, which is good. I mean, I wish I had every prototype, but it's just not realistic. Gosh, could you think about that? We played 4 games a week and then did
Holy
the show.
cow.
We did every single one of them.
Holy cow. That would be insane.
It'd be mind melting.
That would be insane. I wouldn't be, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot as it is.
As it is, whenever we get together and play a whole bunch of different games with people, whenever that was a thing, it was like everybody knew how to play like 2 games, right? So like we would come with like our 2 games that we knew how to play, and they'd have a game or 2 they knew how to play. It was like, all right, we got a couple hours worth of games to play, but like we didn't have to sit there and try to learn them all.
I'm really excited to try this game out though. Overall.
Good news. I actually got a surprise for you.
Dun, dun.
Hey, happy anniversary. Months early.
No,
Oh.
that's not how that works, Dr.
Okay.
Gloryhougdd.
Well,
It's not how that works,
I tried.
okay?
Remember that later. I tried. And the thought is what really counts, right?
Let's see here. Don't forget to give this video a like.
Oh my
Thank you,
gosh.
Gloryhound. Oh my goodness.
Gloryhound is the best.
Gloryhound. Like and subscribe.
That's it. Yeah. Like and subscribe.
Those red hex brick tiles remind me of the Washington Metro platforms. Ooh, that's interesting.
Fair. And on a serious note, if you did like this video and you liked the other video, like this one, because I'm going to probably take the other one down.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it's got all that buffering issues and stuff like that, it's just never a good quality video, which is why we decided to go again later and cover Embarcadero again also.
Right, absolutely.
Embarcadero. I'm not going to say it right.
Embarcadero. Embarcadero. Everybody say it with me.
Bark.
Embarcadero. Embarcadero.
Embarcadero.
Embarcadero.
Embarcadero.
Embarcadero.
Embarcadero.
And if I just went ahead and like said it wrong like 20 times, I apologize.
Oh man. Wouldn't that be the worst if you were doing it wrong the whole time and I was right? Embarcadero. Embarcadero. I am not the person that pronunciates.
There we go. Adam has it.
Okay.
Embarcadero. See?
Woo. You would think I would know how to say words, but I don't.
Everybody
Arrivederci. So now that we've covered all the different games, you're saying your number 1 pick is this one, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Because this is right up my alley. Because you're gonna be
alley? Is that like a building joke?
Right up my alley.
I mean,
no, so basically, in this portion of the game, you're limited by the resources you're having to get in while you're trying to build these buildings and then control areas of a wharf as you're going along. And that is the sort of planning that I love having in games.
And that's why I married her, and I am not her.
And I love the fact that you actually have the 3D buildings that add to that. So this has the aspects of gaming that I really, really love.
In your free time, you like to play games about building things and structuring things. In my free time, I like the adrenaline.
You do.
So we have different ideas of what gaming should be.
We do, but that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing, everyone. So, like, when we do this show, we're telling you what we think and what we like, but even what we think and like is different than what you might like think and like and everything.
I'm pretty sure everyone's here for my
for your sweet picks.
My sweet solid picks. And I'm sure everybody buys everything that I like.
We're here to inform you on how the game operates and what the game is and what's included in the game, how much maybe the game costs and if it's a good deal or not. But ultimately, the choice is up to you. Whether you back a game or not, and if it's up your alley and you are going to like the gameplay of it.
The more you know. Little burrito goes flying by like a comet. Oh my God. She just bit me. You just saw that. So let's talk.
The burrito.
Let's talk a little bit about what the channel is doing.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about it? You want me to talk about it? Okay, so we have, in the past, we have talked a lot about, and we've joked around a lot about how you can find us everywhere, right? Because we're on all these different channels.
Yes.
But we're not reducing the amount of stuff we're doing, but we are refocusing. So to see us, basically, you can find us here, of course, always on Gloryhoundd. We'll always do our videos like we do.
That's right.
And we're going to be doing stuff with Game Boy Geek. But that's it, correct?
Yeah, I think the only other thing that I have in the works is something with Tabletop Backer Party.
I'm sorry. Yep, and
riding
Tabletop
the
Backer Party.
hype train, yeah.
Right, and that could be potentially another show, but that would be like on probably on Facebook or YouTube.
That's going to be like on a Facebook thing, where it's going to be like a reaction
And it'll be done
video.
on like the Tabletop Backer page.
It will
probably.
be. But the base part of our shows are going to be on the Gloryhound channel only, and then we will be doing stuff with Game Boy Geek.
Right, some playthroughs.
Right, some playthroughs on his channel, as well as whenever we're invited to go ahead and do something specific or special on their channel as well. So we have actually like pulled it in so we can focus more on doing really awesome stuff for our channel and all of you.
And there's no bad or ill will with any of those things. We just couldn't be on Board Game Spotlight. It was too hard to manage Board Game Spotlight, Steve Jackson Games, our channel, and Game Boy Geeks channel, and then trying to just kind of get them all to manage and like line up just perfectly because everybody wants things on the same days. There's just too much. So if you want all the sweet #bike stories, it's going to be here. On this channel, and then if you want to see us playing other games, it's also going to be on Game Boy Geek. So
Absolutely.
that's it. We're just reducing the places we're streaming from,
but not the amount of playthroughs we're doing. Because, like, for example, this last week we had one. Didn't we have one we played with Game Boy Geek? One we played on the Board Game Spotlight, and then we only had time to do one of our things, like on our channel, because our time was tied up everywhere else.
That's the point. There's just too many things going on.
Yeah.
So we don't even know.
And I'd rather have it all in one place for everybody, okay?
It makes it a lot easier. So yeah, you'll just be seeing us on the two places, or on the less places, same content.
I want the channel where DrGloryhogg wears a GoPro on his bicycle at South Mountain.
Oh,
wow.
God, I would die right now.
Oh.
No, I would do okay.
No, you
Last
wouldn't.
time we biked, you died. You flipped, and you were like, "I'm dying. My leg is broke."
Not on South Mountain, and that was legit. I'm pretty sure that was like a hairline fracture for sure. It took like a year and a half of recovery for that.
Raise your hand if you broke your leg and you walked around on it. Oh, what? You broke your leg?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Did you get George checked out by a doctor?
I did not, because I was dumb.
I wish we were too popular. That is not the case. We got kicked off of all those other channels. No, I'm kidding. They all still wanted to work with us.
Absolutely.
But we had to focus on like 2 things instead of like 8 things.
Right. No ill will towards anybody or anything. Like nothing weird or crazy went down or anything.
A little bit of ill will towards Fatal Paper Cut for lying about not backing anything.
Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Okay.
Yeah. A little bit.
But we're excited to introduce some new things to the channel whenever we go ahead and start updating things, because we'll have more time to do stuff like that. So
that's a lie. Survey says that's a lie.
Wow. No faith. No faith in me, DrGloryhogg. Well, thank you so much for everybody that joined us for our show today. We really appreciate having all of you in chat and all of your comments on all of the games, because sometimes there are things that all of you out there catch that we didn't notice, and we love going through all of these games with all of you, because man, there's so many Kickstarters out of there. It takes a collective to figure this stuff out at this point, okay? This is not the same show as it was like 3 years ago or something when we first started doing podcasts. Like, there's just so much more out there, okay? I have to rewatch this video and see if you were able to change my mind, but I'm backing Too Deep.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely.
I could see wanting to back that one for sure.
Absolutely. Like, the minis in that are fantastic.
And we have a playthrough of it too, so you can see what it looks like in action.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I just wanted to thank all of you, though. And I want to thank our Patreon backers. You all are amazing. We went ahead and had a list of all the Patreon backers that I was going to go ahead and tell everybody, but I lost the list, so I apologize. I'll give all of you a personal thank you next week, but for now, I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching us, and is that it?
Yeah, I don't know why you always put me on the spot at the end there. That's it. There's nothing else. No, you just woke up the kitty.
It's a sleepy kitty.
Oh, God. Nobody wants to see how long our cat is.
Look at this cat belly right here. That cat belly is for all of you, okay?
It's so good.